62 apartments in this building have been provided by the state to the families of martyrs and persons who became disabled when protecting the territorial integrity, independence, and constitutional order of our country. 42 of these apartments have been allocated to the disabled Karabakh War veterans, 20 to the families of martyrs. All apartments are two-room. Totally, 8,018 apartments and private houses, including these apartments, have been provided to the families of martyrs and disabled war veterans. In 1997-2019, 7,588 apartments and private houses were given out to the disabled war veterans and families of martyrs. In 2019, our citizens under this category were provided with 634 apartments, 300 private houses. It is planned to give out 700 apartments and 800 private houses. 430 apartments have been provided since the beginning of the year. 6,900 automobiles, including 50 cars, this time have been given out to the disabled war veterans up to now. The head of state and the First Lady were informed about the measures taken in 2020 on social security and one-time payments, employment, the activity of the State Fund of Social Protection, social services and rehabilitation, caring for families of martyrs and disabled war veterans, activity of DOS centers, electronic and innovative solutions, employment amid pandemic, and measures to support social welfare. In general, one of the priorities of the state policy in Azerbaijan is to increase the number of benefits and privileges for the persons under special categories. Benefits and pensions for the families of martyrs and disabled war veterans were increased by about 100% in April 2019. During the first 6 months of this year, 1,435 rehabilitation means were provided to the disabled war veterans. Currently, rehabilitation centers and children's rehabilitation centers are under construction and reconstruction in many cities and regions. 61,057 citizens applied to those centers number 1, 2, and 3 within 6 months. Satisfaction of citizens was 96%. Soon it is planned to open those centers in Binagadi, Absheron, Sumgait, Guba, and Berda. Following this, President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva met with the members of the martyrs' families and disabled war veterans.
Aziz dostlar, bugün sizin hayatınızda çok alametler.
Underlining the significance of the day and expressing congratulations on this occasion, President Ilham Aliyev stressed that the state always supported the families of martyrs and disabled people, and much had been done in this regard. Citing the specific figures regarding the measures already taken in this area, the head of state touched on the upcoming activities, said more than 7,000 families of IDPs would be provided with apartments this year, noted that social sphere amounted to the significant part of the budget. President said he was satisfied that after his call, the private sector also got involved in this activity, citing the implementation of the Gobu Park residential complex project as an example. Stressed that huge economic potential built over the recent years made it possible to do all this work, drew attention to the increase of benefits, social payments, spoke about the financial support provided to the citizens during the pandemic, about the social policy in general, recalling the merits of the great leader Heydar Aliyev with regard to the signing of the contract of the century and the subsequent attraction of large foreign investments to our country, which made it possible to do enormous work in all areas. The head of state noted that social policy was being pursued in Azerbaijan despite the fall in oil prices and the global pandemic crisis. President Ilham Aliyev stressed that there were people who rejoiced at the fall in oil prices. There are Armenians and the elements who wish bad for our country. Calling this approach not oppositional, but hostile, the head of state recalled the treacherous activities of the Popular Front in the previous years, which led to the loss of our lands, civil war and confrontation to the occupation of Shusha. Touching upon the recent military provocation of Armenia in Tovuz, which led to the deaths of our servicemen and civilians, President Ilham Aliyev emphasized that the Azerbaijani army had destroyed the enemy's strongholds with precise fire. Thousands of people in the country supported our armed forces, demonstrated civil solidarity, and organized a march. However, still there were elements that staged the provocation, broke into the parliament, and caused damage. At the same time, Azerbaijan also received great international support. primarily from Turkey, the fraternal country. The head of state expressed gratitude to his Turkish counterpart. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan expressed support, condolences over the death of our servicemen, and said Turkey would always stand by Azerbaijan. President Ilham Aliyev also drew attention to Azerbaijan's contribution to strengthening solidarity in the Islamic world, noted that 57 Muslim countries supported our state, said that Armenia was trying to win them over to its side. Touching upon the interaction of some Muslim countries with Yerevan, the head of state said, "What kind of cooperation can one talk about with the country that destroys mosques and Muslim shrines?" President Ilham Aliyev also reminded of the support provided to Azerbaijan by 3 members of the Collective Security Treaty Organization. The head of state said that once Armenia actually insulted this organization, arrested its Secretary General, for a long time resisted the appointment of a representative of Belarus into this position. The head of state once again congratulated the participants of the ceremony. One of the participants expressed gratitude for continuous care and attention.